Hi, I'm Steve. This is my partner Jake. Today we're going to be talking about a key theme we like to call assessment. Now, assessment is very important in today's world of education, and we decided to come up with our own little idea or definition of what we thought assessment was, and that was a measurement of where each student stands in their understanding of the content. This is the definition that we think embodies what assessment is. We think that assessment is very important, like I said earlier, in education. We think that, with the advanced forms of technology that come out year by year, there are lots of ways to enhance the way that we assess students in schools.
Okay, in terms of technology affecting assessment, we figured that there's two main categories where this kind of helps out. The first one we can put as engagement. With new forms of technology, teachers have more tools that can get students engaged in forms of assessment. So, for example, we'll talk about Kahoot. And Kahoot's a great way to get students involved and excited about learning and excited about applying the knowledge that they've learned throughout a course. Also, something that technology helps out with in forms of assessment is organization. And this kind of encompasses something that we'll also talk about with Kahoot is through these forms of technology, you can it's easier for teachers to have all the grading and measurements of students' understanding and knowledge. It's easier for them to have it in a condensed area where they can see it, and they can better apply it to how they're going to teach classes and how they'll move forward with their classes. All right, so one of the first forms of technology we'll talk about, which can help teachers organize and engage students, is a concept map. And specifically online, you can create concept maps easily, quickly, and not have to waste paper. This one that we've chosen to use is called Slatebox, and on here I've made kind of a brief little concept map. And to quickly explain what a concept map is you start off with the main idea. So in this case, we chose a Civil War, and then from there you branch off into little ideas and smaller themes. So in this case, we took slavery, battles in the Civil War, and generals, Reconstruction, and the rebuilding of the South, and Abraham Lincoln and his influence in the Civil War. And so basically what you can do is it's easier for students to break apart and be able to connect ideas to the main overall theme. So, and through Slatebox, it's very easy to make one of these, and you can post these online, you can post these in a blog, and you can share them with other people, and it's a really great way to formally assess students.
Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is an app called UberSense. I'm going into physical education, so this is something that relates more to physical education teachers, but it's a great app that they can use for assessment, since assessment is also very important in physical education. Is something that we need to spend more time on and value more. And so as you look, these are just some screenshots of what it's like, and you see right here this first one. So you can basically, what you do with it, you can record your students doing different movements, and then you can draw on it. You can also do voiceovers just to kind of analyze what they're doing. You can play their video up, on the same screen right here with another person's video. So you could do that to either compare students, or you could have older kids demonstrate the proper technique, and then your younger kids could record themselves, and then you could kind of compare so they see what they need to improve on. And then you can share it, and there's all sorts of different things that you can do with it. It's just a great tool. You can share it to the community, and everyone can see each other's videos and see their own, and just compare it all. So pretty much what this app allows you to do is to be able to, assess your students in either formative or summative assessment. So you could have them, record each other as they're going throughout a unit, and then you could record them at the end of a unit. And so you can use it both ways, and it's just a great app for visual learning, for them to actually see what they're doing, what they need to improve, and it's also an easy way for you to assess all the students without having to, worry about getting around to them all in one class period.
All right. So the last form of assessment that we're going to show you quickly through technology is Kahoot. Kahoot is a really fun game and quiz-like game that students can use and students can play to help assess them. You could kind of do this day before a test kind of deal or during the middle of the course, just to see where kids are at. So what you do is you go to Kahoot, a teacher will make a quiz, the students will have a code that they can type in. So I'm going to type in this code right here. I'm going to give myself a nickname. I'm going to be Jake. I'll join the game. It appears I've lost my connection. This is really cool. I'm just going to kind of continue on here. So basically what you can do is through Kahoot, there'll be questions that come up, and it'll be a multiple choice kind of question, and you want to try to answer the question as quickly, and obviously you want to answer the question correctly, but you want to try to answer the question as quickly as possible, because the quicker you do it, the more points you get. And so basically you'll have, I've seen it done where a teacher had about 15 questions, and whoever had the most points at the end of the quiz got a cookie, or I think it was a cookie. So anyway, and this is really fun for the kids because they're competing against each other. It's fun. Everyone's just kind of shouting answers like, I got this right, I got this wrong. And what's really nice for you as a teacher is at the end you can see who got which questions right. You can see as a class how many people got which question right, so you can kind of assess the entire class, saying, okay, well, we're really good on the Civil War, but we're really kind of lacking on Reconstruction and how the South got put together. So we really need to make sure that, is it something where I might need to take a day and just go back and look at this quick, or let's talk about it for 10 minutes in a class tomorrow. So Kahoot does a really good job of making the game this quiz kind of deal. It makes it exciting, it makes it competitive, and for you as a teacher, it helps organize your quizzes. All right, so we've shown you UberSense, we've shown you concept maps through Slatebox, and we've shown you Kahoot. These are all different forms of formative assessment, and probably you can use them as summative assessment too. And these are all different forms of assessment that kind of relate back to our definition of assessment, which is a measurement where each student stands in their understanding of the content. So through these different forms of technology, it's a lot easier for teachers, as we talked about earlier. These different tools engage teachers, and engage students, and really get them excited about their learning and kind of putting forth and showing the teacher what they've learned. And also, it really helps you as a teacher organize these different forms of assessment, and it really helps you condense different sorts of papers.